Reverend John Bray is a creative communicator with a passion for helping people find a faith that works in the real world. He graduated from Indiana Wesleyan University in 1972 with a Bachelor of Arts degree in religion and a calling to serve the Lord as a pastor of a local church. I'd venture to say that Reverend Bray and Patty had no idea what the Lord had in store for them when they exited the doors of this campus. At age 23, Reverend Bray became the senior pastor of Heritage Wesleyan Church, a congregation of 24 members in Rock Island, Illinois. Reverend Bray remained the sole pastor of Heritage Wesleyan for 17 years. At the completion of his 10th year, the church reached the 100-member mark. After another 7 years had passed, they broke 200. In another 7 years, they counted 400 in their midst, but the Lord wasn't done working with the Brays and the growing staff of faithful servants at the church. By the time Reverend Bray retired in 2014, after 41 years as the senior pastor of Heritage Wesleyan Church, attendance had swelled to 3,000 people with a church staff of 47. To accommodate this growth, the church purchased and renovated an indoor athletic club in Rock Island into a 65,000 square foot worship facility. They added campuses in Bettendorf and Bluegrass. They opened their doors to the Hispanic population of Rock Island, which led to the start of Hueda Nueva campus, which currently serves around 200 people. And in it all, Reverend Bray never wavered from the mandate to preach God's word and to reach the Rock Island community for Christ. Reverend Bray currently serves as Senior Pastor Emeritus of Heritage Wesleyan, and which makes him available for special assignments, such as the one he's currently involved in. For the past year, Reverend Bray has been serving as interim pastor of First Wesleyan Church in Battle Creek, Michigan. In addition to his undergraduate degree from IWU, Reverend Bray also completed 2 years of graduate studies at the University of Iowa and a master's in ministerial leadership here at IWU in 2007. He served on the IWU Board of Trustees since 1999 and has held various offices in his district and in our denomination over the past 4 decades. Reverend Bray and his wife Patty have been married for 42 years. Congratulations. That's the best story, isn't it? And are the parents of 2 adult daughters. And I'll just say on a personal note, Reverend Bray is one of those people to whom I look up and admire, and whose counsel and guidance I value tremendously as a friend and as a member of our board. And it's a great honor to have him speak to us today. Would you join me in welcoming Reverend John Bray?
Thank you, President Wright. Distinguished faculty, staff, family, esteemed friends, graduates, good morning. It was last August when I was asked to make this speech, and to be honest, I've been thinking about it for 8 months and stressing a bit about this moment. My angst, quite honestly, relates to this. It's a diploma that was handed to me by this institution in 1972. And do you know what I remember about that day? I remember it was sunny. I probably only remember that because I have pictures. I remember clomping across the stage in a cast from a motorcycle accident that I had had. I lost my balance coming up the steps and almost created a scene, saved myself at the last minute. And then there was the commencement address. I have 0 memories connected to the commencement address. I don't remember a single thing that it was said. I don't remember who said those things I don't remember that were said. And I will confess that reality is a bit disconcerting for a guy standing in my shoes right now who aspires to say something memorable. See, I realize that some of you will listen to me as if I am Charlie Brown's teacher. You will endure the wah, 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 wah so that you can hear your name called and have your moment to walk across the stage and get the diploma you have been chasing so hard. But I know that some of you will be leaning in, eager to glean one last word of wisdom as the capstone of your educational experience. Okay, probably not. You're all just waiting for me to get out of the way so that you can hear your name called. But since we're here, I want to say something that you can take with you if you choose. Before I do that, let me congratulate you. You just didn't put in the time. You earned your degree. When you walk across the stage, your guests are going to be encouraged not to cheer for you individually because that will take a long time. So let me take a moment just to say congratulations. And I'm going to ask you to turn to the person next to you and go, way to go, high five, do something. And the rest of you, you can congratulate them too. You deserve that because over the last few years you've demonstrated the capacity to do academic work. Now you get to take it to the everyday world, and I want to ask you a simple question. How will you know when the word success can be used to describe your life? How will you know that you've made it? Years ago, I had a friend tell me about an experience he had in the 2nd grade. The teacher asked the kids what they wanted to be when they grew up. Some wanted to be teachers. Some wanted to be firemen. Some wanted to be, policemen, the standard answers. But my friend told me there was one kid who said when he grew up, he wanted to be a bum. That's right, a bum. Now, I don't know what success means to you. Maybe it might mean getting accepted into medical school, or maybe it's getting a job because of the doors your diploma opens. Perhaps you'll measure it in money or recognition. But as I ponder the question of how you will know when you have made it, how you can know when you're ultimately a success, as I ponder that question, the life goal of that long ago 2nd grader who wanted to be a bum intrigues me. If you walk down Skid Row in any city, you'll inevitably see some guy huddled in a doorway with a cheap bottle of wine clutched in a brown paper bag. And when you see that guy, at first your mind may wander to what misfortune has led to his reality. How did he come to be huddled in a Skid Row doorway? But every once in a while when I've made that walk, my mind recalls the dream of that long ago 2nd grader. And I wonder if this might be him. And as I pass by thinking, poor guy, I wonder if he's sitting there thinking, I made it. I'm living the dream. I'm a bum. So how will you know if you've made it? Is it just a matter of achieving some long-held dream, a diploma, a big house, a great car? When all is said and done, is there any common denominator we might use? Now, I realize this is not a church service, but the mission statement of Indiana Wesleyan University says this is a Christ-centered institution. And I'm a pastor, so I want to use 63 words from the Bible as the cornerstone of our thinking. They're found in the Old Testament book of Ecclesiastes and are written by a king named Solomon. He's a guy who has tried it all. He's had success. He's known failure. He has experienced pleasure. He knows despair. He has massive wealth. He has it all. And as he reflects back on his life, this is what he says. And I'm guessing at the end of the first sentence, at least part of this audience will be ready to say amen. There's no end to the publishing of books, and constant study wears you out, so you're no good for anything else. Yeah, I'm guessing I could get that. Then he goes on to say the last and final word is this: fear God. Do what he tells you. That's it. Eventually, God will bring everything that we do out into the open and judge it according to its hidden intent, whether it's good or evil. That's 63 words from Ecclesiastes chapter 12. So how does Solomon suggest you measure success? First, revere or honor God. The motto of this institution when I was here was first things first. Today I woke up in the president's guest house, and there on the wall was a plaque that said, first things first. Put God first. He has a plan for you. Give him his rightful place in your life and chase hard after his purpose for your life. There is a faith component to that purpose. You are not created simply to be a nurse or a teacher or even a CEO. You were created for eternity. You're created to live in relationship with God, and in any life which misses that, misses the most important issue of all. Honor God with your faith. But there is also a work component to his purpose for you. I would challenge you to honor God by using the gifts he has given you to make a difference in this world. Maybe I could refine that a bit. When I was 30 years old, I had been a pastor for 8 years, and I hated it. I would sit and just beg God to let me do something else. I don't know what your image of a pastor is, but in those days, my image was that people expected a pastor to be dignified, controlled, boring, and perhaps a bit stodgy. And I was trying to fit inside a box of those perceived expectations, and it was killing me. My brother, who is here today, gave me a temperament test. He said, "You're a strong nonconformist and you're wasting energy trying to live inside a box of what you think other people expect." And then he said words to this effect: "Why don't you pastor your church the way God created you to be as a person?" That idea changed my life. It was part of what changed the trajectory of my ministry from mundane to one of amazing results as I chased God's call in the way he had wired me, with the goal of making a difference in the lives of people, not dignified, not controlled, hopefully not boring, and certainly not stodgy. God has wired you in a specific way. Some of you are conformists, and boxes are good for you because you like defined expectations. Some of you are nonconformists, and open borders to chase opportunity fit you best. I want to challenge you to commit yourself to be the best you can be in the style with which God has wired you, so you can be a world changer and find joy in it. He has created you to make a difference, and he wants you to find fulfillment in the process. In this way, you will honor him. The second thing that Solomon says is keep his commands. Now, most people see commands as limits. Don't do this, and don't do that, and don't do this other thing. Commands seem to be restraints, and I will tell you, I see them as gifts. God created us, and he knows how we work best. He's given us the incredible blessing of wise boundaries inside which life can be lived boldly and freely. Solomon says, I have pushed the boundaries of God's commands, and I have discovered it does not satisfy. So he says, do what God tells you to do. Keep his commands. And then there is a third idea to consider from Solomon, and I've interpreted it this way: live every day with deep integrity. You see, eventually everything you do will be revealed and assessed by our eternal God. It's like there will be an audit of our lives. Now, I don't know what you think you can get by the IRS, but God sees it all. And I challenge you to live so that you don't have to worry when the auditor comes. You will make mistakes because there is no striving without error. But live each day so that every night when you lay your head down on the pillow, you can say, God, this is the day you've given me. These were the opportunities I had. This is what I did with them. I hope you are pleased. And if you live with that integrity every day, then the sum total days will stand the test of time. If you do these three things, you will be able to use the word success to describe your life. Some of you may go on to wealth and perhaps renown in your field of endeavor. Others of you may labor in obscurity in some little-known corner of the world. But ultimately, success is not measured by fame nor fortune. It is not measured by whether you are promoted to the corner office. How do you measure success? No matter what your dream, honor God, keep his commands, and live every day with integrity. And some of you are thinking, 8 months? He's had 8 months to work on this, and that's all he's got? Yep. But if you live it, you'll discover it's enough. In just a moment, you'll get your diploma and then go and change your world.